Hello. Namaste, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about Jupiter transiting in the sign of Cancer on 18th of October 2025. And it is going to be in the sign of Cancer till 5th of December 2025. While it will go retrograde in the sign of Cancer itself on 11th of November 2025 till 11th of March 2026. In between, it will enter back into the sign of Gemini. So it's like a quick visit to Cancer, only to revisit it again in the next year. So let's understand what results it might bring out for us. Okay, but before that, if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. And if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link in the description box, www.anmollastrology.com. Under the reading and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And under the courses section, you can actually purchase the course for yourself. Okay, so let's get started. So Jupiter is going to move in its exaltation sign where it feels exalted. Now, what we need to understand, let's go step by step. Let's first understand what is the meaning of the fourth house, what is the meaning of Jupiter, and then what is the altogether meaning of Jupiter being in the sign of Cancer or the fourth house. Then let's understand the nakshatra of Punarvasu in a little bit of brief, description, and also how Jupiter is going to go about in the nakshatra of Punarvasu, then go retrograde in it, and then go back to Gemini. So for this video, I'm not going to include the retrogression part, but I would separately make the full video on the transit of Jupiter plus the retrogression and moving back to Gemini, the whole of the conclusive result for each and every ascendant. But let's just talk about Jupiter's meaning for this transit for 2025. And we would go about through all the ascendants, including the MUHURAT chart for this particular transit. Okay, so what's the fourth house? Fourth house, the natural house of our happiness, Sukh Suvidha. This is the house I call it as, and many other astrologer would also call it as the Rajgati, the control of yours in your life. What's the control? What's the basis? What's the stability of yourself in your life? How much happiness are you going to get? This house is the foundation. It is the one of the most important Kendra houses. You know why this house is going to define your stability and define your foundation? Because this is the house of your childhood. Whatsoever experience we get in our childhood, if we get a tough childhood, if we get a very smooth childhood, that basically designs our outlook towards this world, towards the way we want to survive in this world. That's why this becomes an extremely important house for you to know that if you're going to stay happy, if you're going to be able to fulfill your happiness and be comfortable in your life. So if anytime you have questions regarding, am I going to feel happiness in the world? Am I going to feel peace in my life? Am I going to feel peaceful? Am I going to be surrounded with luxury or comforts? That is where you look into your fourth house. So fourth house is the happiness. It's the Sukh Suvidha. It's the house of your mother. It's the house of your home, property, prosperity, comfort, luxury. Now Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, knowledge. Jupiter is strategist. It's your morals. It's your belief system. It's your thinking. It's your subconscious mind, your intuitive nature. Jupiter is one of the most responsible planets. It's the planet which teaches you responsibility, which teaches you the lessons your life lessons, why you are here. Jupiter is a hard task master. Jupiter is going to teach you the lesson regardless of even if you are a good person. So Saturn, on the other hand, since Saturn is the Karmadhish, Saturn, on the other hand, has a very you can actually manipulate the results of Saturn Mahadasha by being a good person, because Saturn is about your karma. You're doing good karma, Saturn is going to give you good results. You're doing bad karma, Saturn will instantly give you bad results. But Jupiter, regardless of howsoever person you are, it has to give the task, it has to complete the karma it wants you to face, because it wants you to learn the wisdom. Jupiter is your outlook and your understanding of wisdom in this world. Are you able to recognize the qualities of another person if that other person has good agenda towards you or they have a bad agenda towards you? That is the strength of your Jupiter. If you are easy to evaluate their understanding towards you, you have a good Jupiter. If you always have a negative mindset to understand the other person or take their thoughts in a negative way, they take their communication in a negative way, that means your Jupiter is destroyed. So the optimism within ourselves, the positivity in ourselves, the positivity in our thinking, the generosity that we have within us towards other people, that is Jupiter. And Jupiter naturally rules the 9th and the 12th house. Jupiter is the Bhagya. Jupiter is the fortune. And on the other hand, Jupiter is also the losses. Jupiter is the burden also. Jupiter is the sense of responsibility also because of the influence of the 12th house and Pisces. Jupiter is your understanding between what is right, what is wrong. So now, if Jupiter, the most natural benefic planet, if that gets exalted, what does it mean? The exaltation of Jupiter means that now Jupiter is gaining strength. Now you're putting Jupiter into a criteria or into an office where it feels upgraded, where it feels that I have all the necessary things to work around with. I'm a guru and I have the freedom and the ability to present my teachings. I'm not being criticized for my teachings. I'm not being questioned upon my teachings, but I'm able to help others with my generosity, with my education, with my knowledge, with my strategical mind. Jupiter is your freedom. Jupiter exalted means now you have entered the area where you are going to define yourself in a beautiful manner. So, and it does have a little bit of negative effects to it as well. That means you become too innocent, you can become too generous, and sometimes it can be taken advantaged of. You can be taken benefited from. Right? So howsoever your Jupiter is placed, whatsoever planet is in the sign of Cancer for you, wherever the sign of Cancer is there, that would define the whole concept of this Jupiter. But one thing, let me tell you, on a mundane level, we will see a lot of souls departing from this world, because Jupiter, if Jupiter is the Jiva Karka, if Jupiter is the the planet responsible for celebration, it is also the planet to take away the Jiva Karka, to take away the life as well. It is also the planet to give you that realization of having the bad time or the time of suffering after the time of celebration. So, just like Jupiter, I'm not saying that COVID is returning or anything like that. Not specifically the similar thing, but when Jupiter was in the sign of Sagittarius, we did see a lot of souls departing. But now when Jupiter is entering into the sign of Cancer, we will still see some souls departing towards the heaven. So it can be old people, or it can be people who are actually going through suffering in their life. Now their souls are going to be released so as to gain their rebirth into a better life. That is what the concept of Jupiter going exalted means. Now, when this Jupiter is coming into the nakshatra of Punarvasu and then going retrograde in the same nakshatra, because it is going to go till 0 degrees and 56 minutes only, till the time when it will go retrograde in the nakshatra of Punarvasu on the side of, Cancer, and then on the side of Gemini. So what would that mean? Jupiter is your lessons. Jupiter is your higher learning, and it is your blessings as well. So Jupiter coming into the sign of Cancer definitely is going to bless you with fortune. It is going to bless you with your expansion within your matters of home, within the matters of your peace, within the matters of your happiness. So for this particular time, when Jupiter is going to transit in the sign of Cancer from 18th of October till the time it goes retrograde on 11th of November, for almost of one month. It's not actually 1 month, but 7 days, a week before, less than a month, like probably what, 23 days? So for 23 to 24 days. So for these days, basically, Jupiter will feel as if it is expanding your horizons with your home matters, with your happiness, with your comforts. It is bringing in fortune in those matters. So many people can decide to renovate their home. Many people can decide to take utmost responsibility of their home, or there would be something, a matter of happiness to become about within your home. And at the same time, you will be bound to take responsibility towards the matters of emotions, nurturing, and nourishment. And since it is Punarvasu, Punarvasu is what? The return of the light. Punar means again, Vasu means wealth or the light. So Punarvasu means, what is the concept of Punarvasu? It's actually the quirks of bows. It's the bows and the arrows, right? So how you take the aim, you take the arrow towards your aim, and you press that arrow, you expand that arrow and release it to achieve your aim. Then you take the arrow again, stand it into that bow, and then release it again. That's the repetition, what happens. So people are going to be able to fulfill their aims, fulfill their goals into this tiny time frame, just in order to go back again, retrospect their aims again, look into what they desired or what did they aimed upon, and then restart the whole process again. So you might get the opportunities to start something new within this 23 days, but then you would have to redo that again in the coming time period. So only opt for things or events where you think redoing or repetitive nature is the part of that particular event or the theme. Right? Because circumstances are going to fold in that way that you would require to go back again, go towards, some completion of that particular thing with your efforts again, and then get back to it again with the achievement. So it's like the Lord Brihaspati is going to, give you that excitement of happiness by making you feel that you have accomplished your goal. But in order to make you feel that, oh no, something was left, something was missing, I have to redo it again, I have to achieve that again. That's the concept of Jupiter basically coming into the nakshatra of Punarvasu. So definitely a planet when enters the exaltation stage, it does give some good effects. But this time, since it is quickly entering, so it is going to give you that quick emotion, that quick and not very long lasting emotion, which then has to experience a back and forth situation and then have to come back to that situation of feeling happy, feeling overwhelmed, and feeling, sorry, feeling content again next year. So if you ask me if this is the best time to start something new, I might not agree to that. But yes, if you think there is something that you are set to do, which you might start again later, or which already has a theme of repetition, then you might go for it. Then it will be absolutely a brilliant idea to go for it. But if you think you must get married in this time, in these 23 days, then I won't suggest that. You don't want to get remarried again, you know. But even if you get married during this time, even if you start a new work, start a new job in this time, the only concept is that there is going to be some karma that you are going to get fulfilled in the time of retrogression. And then you would expect some growth and progression to come about in the next year when the retrogression finally gets over and the restart happens. But you can expect some blessings to come about your way because natural ninth and 12th lord is coming into the fourth sign, is coming into the sign of nourishment, is coming into the sign of fulfillment. So temporary happiness could be a part of it. But sometimes some moments are short-lived only. So for that, it can work beautifully. And it could be the best time for you to actually express and bring about some growth within your home, within your family. It could be a part which is about the Jiva Karka, as in birth of children, birth of something new, birth of new investments. Right? So let's dive into the Muhurt chart so as to get better, just a second, so as to get better information about it. I've opened two, okay, I've also opened the retrogression prashna, but that I won't include in this part. So now, the Muhurat chart turns out to be the sign of Gemini. Whenever I get the sign of Gemini as the prashna or the Muhurat chart or the Tithi Pravesh, I know there is some efforts required. There is some unbalanced scenario which has to be balanced, which is required at this point of time when I get a Gemini rising. Now we also have Mrigashira. Then we have Jupiter going into the second house. Beautiful prashna that you can expect, beautiful Muhurat chart that you can expect. Because see, Jupiter going exalted in the second house means that people are going to feel that they are going to have blessings in terms of their home endeavors, their property matters, and also in the matters of their money, income, and the settlement with their family members and addition in their possessions. But one thing is there, for every one of us, we have to go and look in towards our finances. We have to manage our finances because Jupiter is one of the karkas of management along with Mars. Jupiter in the Artha houses is very much concerned about financial wealth and financial progress. So with this Muhurta chart, because Jupiter is in the second house and Moon and Ketu is in the sign of Leo, this is the matter of being generous, This is the matter where you might, suppose, for example, I would take an example here, that if you have to go through a property division, you might become very generous towards your sibling or towards the person you have to divide your wealth with. You might become generous of them to give them extra piece of share, just because you know that I feel content and I have this part of my responsibility that I am about to fulfill towards them. Because the dispositor of Jupiter at the same time is in the sign of Leo, where you have a big heart, where you have the conjunction with Ketu as well. So the Ketu gave you the karma of being a selfless giver. So these 23 days are to give without the expectation in return, to be self-sacrificial, because not because you are putting yourself into a situation where you're losing yourself or making some losses for yourself. No, this way you are actually going to add on to your wealth. What you give is going to come back twice the amount. That's the magic of Punarvasu. Jupiter in Punarvasu. The more the people having, Jupiter and Punarvasu, the more they help others, the more they get help towards themselves in double the amount. And since this moon is getting conjunct with Ketu in the 3rd house, that means that your selfless effort is going to be the basis of this generosity. Your selfless action, because 3rd house is our house of action, house of house of your decisions, house of your understanding, house of your efforts. And of course, this particular transit is going to let you express yourself in a very creative manner, in a very nurturing, homely manner. Now for the sign of Geminis. And one more thing, there can be some beautiful, benefits or some sort of, you can say, gains from investments also. Okay. Now, the sign of Gemini. For Gemini individuals, Jupiter is transiting in your 2nd house. You will have to take the responsibility towards your family, towards your finances. And at the same time, you might also develop an idea to bring in a significant change within your job dynamics or within your career. Only because you would realize that I deserve more. I deserve to have an appreciation within my finances and within my my designation within my work. For that, you might shift a job, you might get promoted within a job, you might ask for it, for the promotion. And when you ask for it, you get the promotion, you get a lot of responsibility. And then you'll be like, oh, I was better back then, but the money is good. Then the retrogression kicks in. And then again, the blessing you would process, you would gel into that thing, and then you would come about again. But remember, you have to see your natal placements. The promise in the natal placements should be there. But eventually, since Jupiter is the lord of your 7th and your 10th house, there is progress in terms of relationships, marriage, if you're trying to get married, and also in terms of your career. This actually promises a promotion. But at the same time, when you would least expect it, that is the time when you're going to get it. And still, your efforts are going to be asked more than before out of this situation. So you need to balance your emotions, your mind, and your predictive self within this particular scenario. But definitely a beautiful time to fulfill the responsibility towards your family, towards your finances, towards your home. At the same time, being able to express your generosity through money, through finances. Like, for example, you're trying to do something for someone else. That would be the fulfillment of responsibility and fulfilling the generosity as well. At the same time, you would be on the receiving end, you would receive more than what you give. Now, next we have the sign of Cancer itself. Jupiter is coming into your ascendant. You will have to take the responsibility of your own health. And this is the time where your contentment, where your satisfaction would come about only when you are helping others, only when you are giving that selfless nourishment to the others. Jupiter is the lord of your 6th and the 9th house, coming into your 1st house. That's why you have to take care of your health. Fortune is going to come towards you. So your health is going to get better than before. And at the same time, you would require to, give some help, financial help to someone else. Or it could even be about taking financial help from someone else. But something related to finances has to be there, and some expense would also come about in terms of your home and towards your health as well. But this Jupiter coming exalted in your ascendant, that means you will have that courage. You will be able to form that kind of strategies. You will be able to expand your generosity to the others. So it's a very positive time. You are attracting and dispersing a lot of positivity in your surroundings. Right? And it would even give you financial responsibility that you might have to take care. Right? And it can also bring about division of assets within your home, within your, within the family setup. But definitely a beautiful time to express yourself in a nurturing way, and also to start something in terms of your finances and career. It is a time of getting the wisdom from life, understanding the wisdom, understanding the higher self, the higher learning. At the same time, you have Saturn in the 9th house retrograde. Your lessons are still pending. And this time, your lessons are going to be about yourself, about your own understanding. Next, we have the sign of Leo. For Leo individuals, Jupiter is transiting in the 12th house. It will increase the sense of responsibility. It will make you travel to hospitals, to clinics. It could be for yourself, it could be for someone else, or to cremation grounds as well. But this gives you the ability to spend. So you definitely are going to have that equal amount of money that you will be able to spend. Now, this Jupiter is the lord of the 5th house and the 8th house. That means some unpredictable gain or unpredictable even loss could come from investments. But most of all, it's unpredictable gain or sudden gain that you can expect to happen for you to have in your 12th house. You will feel more spiritual. Something transformative is going to happen in your life, which is going to change your perspective, which is going to change your intelligence and going to align you towards spirituality. It could even be, maybe an old person in your life, maybe their soul is departing from the world. But something very significant happening, something very transformative happening within the family, which is going to instigate your spiritual growth. And that is going to make you have the understanding of how The highest devotion and highest responsibility is towards the God and not towards the people who are present there. Right? And at the same time, your ascendant lord is basically in the third house. And that too debilitated. That means your courage is going to be tested during this time. So even if Jupiter is actually an exalted planet in the 12th house for you, but it will actually increase the pressure and the responsibility in your life. Because it is the karka of responsibility, the higher lessons, the lessons that even you won't desire to get, but Jupiter is going to give it to you. If you're planning to travel overseas and settle overseas, this could also be fruitful and beneficial, or it could bring about some sort of responsibility regarding your visa applications, regarding your PR. Right? Now, next we have the sign of Virgo. For Virgos, Jupiter is transiting in the 11th house. Now, this is actually a good transit for Virgo individuals because it is happening in the 11th house where the fulfillment of the desires happen. Now, your ascendant lord is going into the second house. Your focus is determined towards financial growth and recognition. Your fourth and seventh lord is going into the 11th house. This could bring in gain of partnership, gain of marriage. At the same time, Moon and Ketu are in the 12th house. So it's like everything will happen so suddenly that you will have no clue that what is happening. What is happening in my surroundings? But in order to fulfill your desires, there is going to come some responsibilities as well. This could even bring about the marriage of your elder sibling. Something very prominent to happen in the life of your firstborn as well. And definitely you're going to gain from your spouse. And in fact, your spouse is going to also get recognized for his or her endeavors. You may also gain or expand your home. This is the time for you to accomplish your emotional desires. Even though you would have, right now you would be least bothered about it. This is something you have obsessed over. But now you are not in the condition where you are expecting that. That is the time when you receive it. So definitely a very recognizing timeline. At the same time, you will connect with a lot many people, social influences, which would help you elevate your growth within your career and within your life as well. So good amount of gains through investments, money matters, and even fulfillment of your desires. But also some responsibility towards elder sibling. And as elder sibling, him or herself is going to have a more responsible time. So their responsibilities are going to increase. Their home is going to expand. That's why the marriage of the elder sibling could happen. Even your own marriage could happen. Now, next we have the sign of Libra. For Libra individuals, Jupiter is transiting the 10th house where it is invisibly debilitated, but now it happens to be exalted there. That means that you are going to use the practical sense of understanding of this world, of the career, of survival tactics. You're going to use them to educate others. You're going to use them to help others. Jupiter is the lord of your third house. and the Lord of your 6th house. So it's functionally malefic for you. But coming into an Apacha house in the 10th house, it can bring about such beautiful results for you, such growing and growth results for you. So it's like you might use the negative mindset to create some growing factor in your life. You're going to act really, really smart during this time. You're going to understand the survival concept or the concept of dealing with the society, with others, in a very minute and very in-depth way. Even though you will have a debilitated sun in your ascendant, but you will act as a, what do we call it? Silent killer. That's something, an alternative I'm using, but there's something else I had in my mind. Like mastermind. Yeah, like you are going to act as a mastermind. And definitely it is going to bring about expansion in your career, in your authority. So it might help you gain authority, gain promotion. But with authority, the responsibility is also going to align. The responsibility is also going to increase. Now, next we have the sign of Scorpio. For Scorpio individuals, this Jupiter is transiting the 9th house. How beautiful it is for Scorpio individuals. Your father has to take the responsibility of their health. Even you have to take the responsibility of your father's health. But your fortune, your bhagyodaya is happening. And these 23 days are going to give you a fast forward picture of this whole transit that is going to come about next year. This is the time which is knowledge oriented, education oriented. You might find that urge to educate yourself, to increase your knowledge, to expand your knowledge, expand your ethics, expand your spirituality as well. You might take some time off from your career just in order to feed yourself with more knowledge. Feed yourself with something very beautiful, you know. And also a time where you're going to learn the lessons of your life. You're going to learn what this life is about, what wisdom is about, what is the importance of wisdom and knowledge. This Jupiter is the lord of your 5th and your 2nd house. So it is kind of making a dhan yoga in your 9th house. That means that your money is going to come either from the father or from the gurus or from distance. Right? Now, next we have the sign of Sagittarius. For Sagittarius individuals, Jupiter is going in the 8th house. This can bring about expansion in your fixed and joint assets with your partner. It will bless your own finances as well. It will make you have the responsibility towards your in-laws. You will have to be responsible towards either your in-laws or your inheritance or even your own family. I can also see a shift of residence or a significant travel to be happening. Jupiter is the lord of your 1st and the 4th house. So some dynamics in your home are going to change significantly. And these dynamic change is going to come about because of expansion to come about. You're going to expand your home. Maybe there's a renovation in your home, or maybe you're buying a new property, a new home, because we also see addition in your fixed assets. And in order to have that addition, there will be expansion, buying a larger home or an expanded home. At the same time, you have Moon and Ketu in the 9th house. Being generous. The lesson that you have learned this year is to understand what is the importance of your beliefs. What is the importance of helping others, being generous, being philanthropist, being the person to give. So Jupiter in the 8th house can bring about sudden changes, sudden events, which are going to give you the greatest wisdom of life. And it is going to make you more occupied. It is going to make you busy. And also to have some secrets within yourself. Now, next we have the sign of, and also for, this sign of Sagittarius, you will dive deeper into astrology, occult sciences. Now for the sign of Capricorns. Jupiter is going exalted in the 7th house. You have to take the responsibility towards your partnership, your relationship, and your married partner, your spouse. This can even bring about marriage for you. Having Jupiter exalted in the 7th house, that means that you get your lesson and wisdom through your interactions with others. The fortune definitely is coming towards your way, but there's the requirement of you being there emotionally, financially, and physically towards your partner. Jupiter is the lord of your 3rd and the 12th house. So again, it's a functional malefic coming into the 7th house. A lot of efforts, some amount of losses coming into the side of partnership, marriage. Or your marriage would need your attention and efforts. Your spirituality would align only if you are dedicated and responsible towards your marriage partner, towards your partnerships, towards your marriage. Definitely, I would say it's like a time which is basically the sword with 2 ends. It might give you that blessing, it might give you the fortune, but at the same time, it is going to bring about transformative events. It is going to bring about responsibility towards the marriage, towards others. Right? Then next we have the sign of Aquarius. For Aquarius individuals, Jupiter is transiting into the 6th house. Whenever Jupiter transits the 6th house, that means your health needs attention. Your relatives need your attention. They would require you to help them out. You would help your relatives for that matter. Or you would require the help from your relatives to get out of some matter. Now, this matter looks to be regarding debts and financial situation. So this Jupiter in the 6th house can bring about the resolution or the solving and something of past conflict or some past debt. But since we are going to experience a retrogression, it can bring about a temporary celebration only to bring about a problem again. Then to accomplish it when the next time Jupiter comes in. But simply it shows that there is set of responsibilities you have to take into consideration when it's about your conflicts, your obstacles, arguments, and also your debt situation. Maybe there is required to make some spendings or make some expenses out of emotions or towards the family. Because we have the Lord of the second and the 11th house coming into the 6th house. So when the second and the 11th Lord comes into the 6th house, that means it is actually making a Dhan Yoga. And that too, the planet going exalted. But the Dhan Yoga is established after you dealing with an obstacle, dealing with a barter system-like situation, dealing with a negotiation, a fight, and putting on a fight as well. And this could even give the responsibility of finances and money to your spouse as well. But this is a time which might sense as a crucial one, as an important and significant one. But at the same time, this time is going to take you in and out of a very complicated situation. And you need to balance your health because you have been, because of having so many things on your plate, you have been negligent with your health. So this is the time for you to take care of it, or else Jupiter will make you take care of it. But definitely this could be a brilliant time to also, if you have a business, if you have anything where you need and require funds, you might get a loan, or you even might get finance, that funds from investors or someone like that. And also you would have to take the responsibility towards your relatives, especially the maternal side of relatives. Now, next we have the sign of Pisces. For Pisces individuals, Jupiter is transiting the 4th house. This is going to bring about the Jiva Karka, the light to your love and romance. Although you have experienced a lot with the Saturn in your 1st house, a lot of criticism, a lot of judgments, a lot of slowness and pressure on the mind, obsession, so much disturbance emotionally in your mind. Now, this Jupiter coming into the 5th house can bring about some sense of relief. But have you heard of the term Karknash Bhava? Jupiter is being exalted in your 5th house. If you don't have any planets in the 5th house, then it's a matter of being afraid there. If you have certain planets, 2 or 3 planets, or even 1 planet in the 5th house, then it might save you from some curse. But having Jupiter in the 5th house alone, that too in dignity, is the Karknash power. There's some sense of strong responsibility you would require to endure towards your children, towards your romantic life, towards your sense of intelligence, how you are going to use your intelligent mind or intelligence. So now from this time forward, when Jupiter enters in the sign of Cancer in your 5th house, no decision is going to be a casual decision. Every decision is going to have certain set of consequences. I am noticing my hand has gone total orange. Right? So this Jupiter, along with Moon and Ketu in the 6th house, your mind will feel conflicted. Your mind will feel that your confidence and self-esteem is being challenged because of a unavoidable situation. But how you deal with this situation is going to decide your destiny. Trust me on that. Do not sell anything within your investments. Remember that. Next, we have the sign of Aries. For Aries individual, Jupiter is coming in the 4th house. Your comforts, luxury, your home, everything is going to expand. Jupiter is the lord of your 9th and the 12th house, coming into your 4th house, bringing in fortune, some changes, some boundaries also to be set in the 4th house. You're going to feel generous. You're going to feel to have a change. Take the responsibility of the home, design the home, beautify the home, expand the home. And there is a lot of expenditure and responsibility coming around, especially towards the home. But it would start stabilizing your career at the same time, stabilize your finances at the same time. But you might have to take a little bit of money as a part of debt, maybe. Right? So Jupiter coming into your 4th house is the responsibility towards the home, your own peace of mind, your own stability in life, your own wealth, where your mind is going to feel detached from your self-pleasurable activities and will be more about others, will be more about other people. And you're going to get your wisdom from your home. Your mother has to take care of her health. You're going to get your wisdom from your mother, from your relationship with her as well. Okay, so this is the time to go inward, basically, within yourself to understand your emotions better, because right now it's just a matter of confusion when it comes to emotional understanding. Right now, reactions and aggression have been more than having that, rock on the heart to just give other people the space to express. Now, that is the part of responsibility that you are going to face. But definitely a good time for your career, for home expansion, for your assets, joint assets, money matters. Okay. Next and last, we have the sign of Taurus. For Taurus individuals, we have Jupiter transiting the 3rd house. When Jupiter comes into the 3rd house, it checks your responsibility towards your courage and your efforts. This Jupiter is the lord of your 8th and the 11th house. Sudden gains can come about, or sudden events can come about within your job scenario. First of all, if you are into job, then definitely you're going to experience a significant transition within your job, transition of responsibility, transition of recognition, promotion within your job scenario. And then also, there's going to be set of responsibilities coming your way, and also your courage is going to get tested. The health of the mother also will get affected, so she definitely has to take care of her health. You might even get an opportunity from maybe overseas or a distant land. You might also be very much interested into occult, deep knowledge, and learning something online. Your younger sibling can experience a time of fortune. Your efforts will be appreciated. You will get the result of your efforts. Right? So Jupiter in the third house will also give you the opportunity to expand your horizons of communication and even buy a new phone, a new technology, maybe a new laptop, in fact, as well. Right? So this was my analysis, everyone, about Jupiter's transit in the sign of Cancer and the nakshatra of Punarvasu. After I do the retrograde video, I might go about from each and every zodiac sign, each and every ascendant. Okay. So till that time, please take care. Bye-bye.